But you're single.
I also want to be respectful about it.
Respect? Is the respect in the room with us? Jack, go somewhere. So sorry in advance, guys. I was using my external mic and I was rubbing against it without noticing. So that is going to be picked up in the video. My apologies. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Temptation Island Season 2, Episodes 7, 8, and 9. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. So we are continuing with the messages from the couples, starting with Cole, who... This man is getting on my last nerve.
She didn't express what she's been working on in this process. It's always me taking accountability and saying that Cole did this, Cole lied. Because what if the roles were reversed in that instance? You break the rules, and now you're mad at me because I didn't. Here's why I lied, though. This is what I realized with being here. Fear of losing you, fear of hurting you. I have nothing else to give but
that's all you need to say.
What else do you want me to fucking do?
Well, and that hurts.
Cole has the audacity to say that it is unfair for Scarlett to ask him what he has done in the process to grow, what kind of development he has experienced, because she's not growing or developing. He sees the fact that she is spending a lot of time with Bradley as her not learning anything. She's learning a lot. She's learning that there are better guys out there for her. There are people who can actually provide her with the things that she's looking for in a relationship. There is an opportunity to feel safe with someone, even in a romantic relationship. Cole is then going to say if the roles were reversed, Scarlett would be upset with him for fully immersing himself into the process. She's literally giving you the green light right now. She's saying she has learned a lot from exploring a connection with somebody. Maybe you could do the same. Maybe you could also learn from spending more intimate time with somebody and actually taking in what kind of perspective they can also bring, because I haven't heard him truly open up about what happened in his relationship. He just keeps saying she has stuff to work on, her. It's always her. He's then going to say the reason why he lies is because he's afraid of her response. He's afraid of losing her. Basically, he's afraid of the girl, okay? But here's the thing. Lying is bad, but you know what's worse? The behavior that you have to lie about. He has yet to actually acknowledge that what led him to lie is the bigger issue. Yes, lying is not great. And sure, you get in trouble when you talk about the bad things that you've been doing, but maybe don't do the bad things. Maybe don't do the bad things. So he's like, yeah, she's so controlling as a consequence of your behavior. She has to be controlling because she does not trust you. In the same way that I think that he could leave, she could have left too. Don't get me wrong. Instead of being controlling and instead of making this relationship seem like this tit for tat thing, you could also leave. But here we are trying to make things work. He could understand that there's a reason why she's acting like this, and it started with me. She's not being a parole officer for no reason. I was actually shocked to see that Mikey sent a message. He says he's growing emotionally. He's hurt by what he's seeing, but he's going to continue to love her and he cannot wait to see her. Now, Sydney says that she's heard this all before and he loves to move past issues instead of working on the issues themselves. And she's refusing to do that. She's not going to gloss over the problems just because love is there. Oh, you know, you're a shitty boyfriend, but at least you love me. That's not going to fly anymore. In both their videos, they said this phrase, keep the main thing the main thing. What they don't realize, or what Mikey doesn't realize, is that his main thing is the relationship. Her main thing is herself. And she is trying to keep herself the main thing right now. She cannot keep succumbing to his manipulation just because he loves her. It's not working out whether you love me or not. I gotta go. So she says something similar to what I said. She said, his maximum is the bare minimum. And I said, didn't I say, I think he's hit the ceiling when it comes to his relationship with Sydney. I don't think there's much more that he could provide for her, at the very least, at the date of publication. Maybe forever, but at the very least, as of today, he cannot provide what she's looking for. So as I was scrolling through TikTok yesterday, I came across India's page. And like I said in a previous video, personally, I don't think Mikey was exercising restraint. I feel like the women he wanted were not checking for him. So it was more so lack of opportunity than him trying to respect his relationship. Now, there is a chance that he would have still been respectful if somebody was actually throwing themselves at him. But what we do know for a fact is that the big three was not checking for no Mikey. Cheyenne said she did not want a message, but she did get one from Jack anyways. Jack says he misses her, he forgives her, and he thinks that they can overcome this. Goodbye. Cheyenne, on the other hand, says she is done with the relationship, so she does not bother sending a message. He's a little irritated by that, but whatever. It is what it is. Now, he did say that there have been moments in his relationship where he has controlled her to stay, which is a lot more introspection that we've gotten from any of the guys thus far. To actually admit that you were being controlling because you didn't want to lose the girl, like, I'm going to hold you down and I know that I'm actively doing this, that's big. And I wish that we focused on that a little bit more, but as soon as this man saw some other people, his tone completely changed.
When I was trying to control her to stay with me, I haven't been her happiness, and I know that now.
I feel like she took away your personality.
Time for Jack to show out. I haven't stood on business for 5 years, dude. Finally. I need to, like, embrace myself in life a little bit more.
This man is really trying to make us believe that he has not been his true self. So what was all of that making out with Carter, going to I almost said the hideaway, going into the Temptation Haven with Jasenia? That was a subdued version of you? I do not want to see the full extent. What do you mean? We just had a glimpse of introspection, which is more than what I've seen even from Cheyenne, if I'm being honest, because we're glossing over a lot of Cheyenne's pitfalls in the relationship. Yes, Mark has pointed it out, like, oh, the way that you speak about him clearly relates to more than just he cheated on me. You have a bigger issue than that. But I'm like, we're not touching on this cheating thing. And then we're going to learn that there's a different timeline with this cheating thing. He claims that she cheated first. She claims that he cheated first. But either way, somebody cheated, somebody else cheated back, and now it's this whole tit for tat thing, this back and forth. It is just so toxic. But yeah, I wish that he held on to that moment of realness, but he immediately put his mask back on, and I was like, okay, Jack, we're not getting anywhere with you. Mark comes in and he tells both villas that they are going to be allowed to go to the other villa. Now, the singles will not be in the houses. It's just going to be the couples rummaging through the house. The men were spiraling.
Here we go, guys.
She left these out on purpose. You're like a psychopath right now.
Did she hide her shit, you think? You think she'll get mad that I read this, though?
I don't know. That's between you two.
Should I take his cologne?
You can either take it or we can dump it.
I'm just gonna spray it all out. Oh, they're not having near as much fun as us.
Kaylee's coming in a photo booth with 4 dudes. It's just not what I'm used to seeing.
I love you. Miss you.
So as the guys are going through the house, something stuck out to me and I was like, interesting. Summit said, and I quote, "Kaylee, in my mind, is a cute, adorable, classy lady." And he was just so perplexed that she was able to be in a photo booth with 4 other guys. Or whatever. Like, he just could not see her in that light. And it made me think of the Madonna whore complex, at least in the way that I understand it. I could be mistaken, but this is how I perceive the Madonna whore complex, right? Some men think that the person who they're supposed to marry is the Madonna. You know, the Virgin Mary, the clean-cut girl, the good girl, right? But who they truly desire to be with, at the very least sexually, would be the whore. Now, you don't have to use the word whore, but like somebody who's a little more edgy, like more sensual, more outgoing, more whatever, just a lot more seductive and whatnot. But the person they marry and the person that they seem to be content with is the Madonna. So you're okay with your girl being docile as long as you still get to experience those other desires with other people. Summit keeps going on and on about how he's not sure if commitment is right for him and he just wants to be young, wild, and free. But if he is going to commit to somebody, it has to be somebody like her. She's cute, adorable. She's unassuming. She has a little bit of low self-esteem. She's probably not going to go anywhere. Another thing that stuck out to me was Cole going through Scarlett's journal. Now, what we later learn is that this is the boundary they have from home. The boundary is, do not read my journal ever. That is a violation. That is an invasion of privacy. Scarlett also says she hid that journal on purpose. So this man not only went looking for it, he then broke the boundary by reading it, knowing he shouldn't. And the crazy thing is, he's then going to say, oh, the reason why I opened it was because I thought she had a letter written in there for me. But all that was in there was talking about Bradley and how she wants a better man and whatever. You opened her personal journal to gain clarity on your relationship when all she's asking you to do is be introspective. She's not even saying, can you understand where I'm coming from? That is a part of it. But her main thing is, can you see where you have gone wrong? And once you're able to acknowledge that, you can see why I'm hurt. Look within yourself, dig deep, get vulnerable. And he can't do that. He'd rather place the blame. So I think he went to that journal to look for more incriminating evidence to use against her, to say, see, you're the problem, not me. But instead he saw, her talking about wanting a better man for herself. And that's what you get. I'm going to skip the dates because we hear the same complaints that we've been hearing all season. On to the bonfire. Jack says he's going to wait to check in on Cheyenne to see where the relationship is going to go. It should end. You know it should end. She knows it should end. You shouldn't have to touch base to come to that conclusion. But Mikey says Sydney was lying about him giving her the bare minimum because she just said not too long ago that he gives her the world. Listen here, Mikey, you know how many people in relationships save face for the sake of their partner? She might have said that, but does that mean it's true? Not necessarily. He also feels like he was tricked to come on the show. He thinks because she found a connection so quickly that this was like her big ruse. Like as if she knew Xavier was going to be on the show. Like there was no guarantee of that. She saw somebody better and she went for it. That does not mean you were tricked to come on the show. You were a willing participant. Stop that. Next, we see Kaylee's clip, which is about wanting Summit to outline where their future is going to go. And he says he's in fear that he's not going to be able to provide that for her. This is similar to when guys say, oh, you deserve better, or just like giving you some kind of prophecy that you should read into. If this man keeps saying he's afraid he's not going to give you what you need, it's probably because he's not going to give you what you need. He might be able to, but he keeps harping on it. And for me, that would be enough to be like, okay, well, let me go somewhere else because you don't even have faith in yourself. So why should I have faith in you? He says he wants to ask her to slow down. And Mark says it's okay to ask, but it's also going to be okay for her if she says that that's not going to work for her, which I do agree with. Cole says he's heard the conversation of Scarlett needing something deeper. And he claims that he's become more in tune with his emotions as he's been going through this process. So you know that she's been looking for more vulnerability for a long time now and you just refuse to do it. And he claims now he's learned so much, he's more emotionally in tune, but you still don't realize that your behavior is the reason why we're here. Okay, moving on to the women's bonfire, we have Cheyenne. Honestly, the clips are irrelevant because Mark read the relationship down.
If he was so miserable in the relationship and he wanted to be with somebody else.
You also had complaints about him too, though, didn't you, Cheyenne? Shared a little bit about how you want to provide her. And when he cheated, what you said was he's a loser. He's always been a loser. So I'm suggesting to you that your problems had very little to do with fidelity.
I was just hoping eventually he would be successful. I don't think he has it in him.
You could feel Cheyenne's negativity from day one. The girl sounds like a terror to be around. So I'm not surprised that everybody is seeing, girl, the way that you talk about him is just not right. I'm so glad that Mark keeps clocking her on that. Like, okay, you keep saying that he's this piss poor man, but you're sticking around. So what does that say about you, girl? And she keeps saying, well, I thought that maybe one day he would reach this level of success. Whether he reaches it or not, the bare minimum in a relationship has to be respect. Even if he was to become successful, if you do not show him respect, if he does not respect you in return, you're not going to work. It's not about the money. It's not about the lifestyle. It's about the respect. It's about supporting each other. It's about being honest. And these two don't do any of that. And I love that Mark was like, yeah, you're saying, well, he could leave, so could you. Next is Sydney. She says that she never came with the intention to leave without Mikey, but she did find better, so she's just going to focus on that. Kaylee says she's not shocked that Julianne is falling for Summit. Julianne had said, if we were on the outside, I'd be so excited to get to know you and stuff. She's like, yeah, Summit is a great guy. He just doesn't prioritize me. And Mark says, Although that is true, you also need to prioritize yourself. And it seems like you haven't for a long time. You need to find your self-worth and stop looking for it in other people, which is 100% true. Then we have Scarlett, who realizes that she is in a fear-based relationship. She controls because she's scared of getting hurt, and he lies because he's scared of hurting her or facing her wrath. Again, absolving himself of the behavior in the first place, but child, I could beat that dead horse forever. Back at the villa, everybody's saying their goodbyes because the singles are only around for one more day. Honestly, it's just a lot of tears and it's irrelevant. But on the last day, we see a conversation with Summit and his mom. She's on the phone. And the mom is like, you deserve to be tempted. And you don't need to commit to Kaylee because you guys are just so young. And I'm thinking, oh, this is where it comes from. You deserve to be... That was interesting. I mean, I guess going on the show, you might as well see the process through. And if that means being tempted, then fine, go ahead and do that. But deserve is just, that was interesting. So yeah, he starts to cry. He says he's going to focus on himself. And if that means leaving without Kaylee, then it is what it is. On to the final bonfire. This is where the couples are going to decide if they're going to leave together, leave alone, or leave with somebody new, starting with Scarlett and Cole.
We had conversations prior to this, like, don't go on multiple dates. And I was abiding by those things because I cared how you felt. I would read your letters you wrote me, started believing them less and less. I'm like, what's going on? I don't feel safe.
Neither one of our journeys were about cheating. Would we really go back, and would you really never lie to me again? The relationship was bringing out sides of me that I don't like. When I speak of depth, do you understand what that looks like? Do you know what emotional connections are?
I feel them with you, yeah.
Again, Cole misses the point. It just goes over his head every single time. He's going off on her saying, I didn't cheat. Look at you. You're breaking boundaries that we agreed on. And she said the boundary was never making a connection. The boundary was physically cheating, which I have not done. I've been doing things in the process that have led me to learn more about myself, more of what I need from a relationship. And she says point blank, I need a strong emotional connection, and you lack that, and you lack depth. I can't move forward in a relationship without that, and you just don't have that. He wants to get props for not cheating, but that wasn't the objective of the show. The objective of the show was to gain some insight on where your relationship went wrong and how you can fix it to make sure you move on in a healthy way. He did none of that. Literally none of that. So then he says he will never lie to her again. And the way that he's going to prove that is by coming clean with the fact that he went through the journal. And he says, yeah, I went through it thinking that you were writing to me. And she's like, you are showing me yet again that I cannot trust you. This is the boundary that we've had well before the show. You don't read my journal. That's common sense. You don't read my journal. And if you can do that on camera, what can you do when there aren't cameras filming? And he's like, no. She's not buying it. And she shouldn't buy it. Then the decision comes whether they should leave together, alone, or with somebody else. He would like to leave with her. She says, for now, I'm going to be on my own. As you should. Then we have Cole. Cole's mask slips. And we get a glimpse of how he really feels.
Didn't say how, like, she's grown. I couldn't have handled myself any better than I have here. Maybe that's something deeper, something from her childhood. Yeah, sure, I couldn't have lied about this, which I admit to, but it's like, there's a deeper issue with her. Not another person in this world that would love her the way I do. Her loss. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Oh. Interesting. It seems to me that Cole was keeping himself measured for as long as possible because he does not want that ugly side to come out. Whether it's this little outburst that he had or people knowing that he's not this good boyfriend, he's acting like he is. It's not just, oh, well, I just used to do little white lies here and there. Your behavior is problematic. I know that he also smashed an inanimate object, but even that sometimes is concerning to me. Seeing people punch walls and stuff, I don't rock with that. Never that. This man still thinks that cheating should be the only reason why she would ever leave him. And because he didn't cheat, she should have accepted him back. But there's more reasons to break up than cheating. Your partner not being able to be vulnerable, your partner not being able to be accountable, them not being able to see the error in their ways. I have to leave you for that. Hell, I could leave you for less. Next is Sydney and Mikey, who just keeps going on and on and on and on and on about how hurt he is. You hurt me, do you even love me? Did you trick me to come on the show? Not a lick of information regarding how he has developed in this process.
I've been miserable as hell in there because I've been so worried about you. I did nothing in there. My trust got broke the first bonfire. I've been going through hell through this. I might not be perfect, but shit, I was yours. Thought you loved me for real. Like, thought you loved me for real.
They was like, wait, Sid, he made you feel like what? He did what? No, you don't deserve that. You're better than that. You never fucking put me first. I was making myself smaller in our relationship. I never filled your head up with lies. But at the end of the day, I had to realize that I was settling. I choose myself.
This man wants to be applauded because he loves the girl. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm not perfect, but I love you. I'm worth it. I'm worth fighting for. That's got to mean something. You don't even have to be perfect, but the fact that you're acknowledging that you're a mediocre boyfriend, but because you love her, she should just accept it is crazy to me. That's insane. So Sydney says, oh, you want to talk about hurt? Let me tell you about how worthless I felt in our relationship. How I felt I could not be honest with you. And this man has the audacity to give her faces and all kind. I'm fighting so hard to not put him in the apocalypse. Y'all know the apocalypse that I'm talking about. He is one of them. He's one of them. Hands on his hips. If you don't fix your this man could not be my partner. Because then I'm going to bruise your ego and I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the bad guy. So then it comes time to decide if they're going to leave together or apart. And he's like, you know what I want to say. You know what I want to say, but I have to go by myself and go. And go.
That's what we love. That's all I ever wanted. I've always just wanted to be loved. I love that girl so much.
I've been missing you.
I've fallen in love with you.
I've been loving you for some time, so.
You know, I would love to leave here with you.
Of course, what do you mean?
Moments like this, right? I love my job.
Mikey was so pissed to hear that Sydney was going to continue with Xavier, but that's what you get. What she was saying to him was that the apologies have been on a cycle. She hears them every so often, and unfortunately, the damage has been done. He wants to get props for the development that he's made in the process, but mind you, still can't say what that development is. What is it? Outline it for me, because I'm not seeing it. But even with that, what happened before cannot be erased. We cannot walk this back. So this girl had to move on to something great. And I love this for her. I surely do. Surely do. The girl had a plan. She just needed a platform. I don't care what y'all say about it. That is my conviction. I'm not saying she came on the show to leave him. But in her mind, the relationship was dead already. It's been dead. So I'm glad that she has somebody who doesn't play about her. She said that I've fallen for you. He said I've fallen right back. I said, wow. Wow, I love it. I was wondering if they were still together, and I did see that she posted a TikTok where he was in the background. So I don't know if that means they're together, but at least they're cordial. It's saying that the Vile Files are gonna do the reunion. So I guess I'll have to stay tuned for that to see who's where, but they left together. Yeah. Next was Jack and Cheyenne, who was burning when Jack was going on his rant about, you know, how things have been going. And when it was her turn, oh, she gave him the business.
I know you didn't want to come here. I'm sorry that I put you through this. I think we were stuck. You know, I can't say that I don't love you because I'd be lying if I said that. You know, I know you won't believe me because you haven't believed in me in the past.
I don't think that you thought about me. I truly don't understand what I have done to you.
You wanted nothing to do with me.
Because you gave nothing.
Why would you want to be with someone that gave nothing? You were unhappy.
You know damn well that I wanted to be with you. So I'm gonna tell you thank you. You can never be the man that I deserve.
Jack wants Cheyenne to admit that things were not great in their relationship, but I feel like she has said that. Not in those explicit words, but she has alluded to the fact that she was not happy. She was miserable in this relationship. But he wants her to say that, and I don't know if that is going to give him the justification that he needs to say, so you can see why I cheated. You can see why I act this way. You weren't happy anyways. They have a weird codependency, which they do touch on when they're talking. It's like, I need you so much that it doesn't matter how badly you treat me, I'm just gonna stick around, even though I know you're not happy. Like, I know you're not enjoying this. Mark points out the fact that they did get together when they were young, so that attachment is real and it's gonna be hard to separate. However, their relationship wasn't all negative. There are good things that they experienced, and they do acknowledge that, and they tell each other what the good things were. They do decide to leave alone, which is great because they both need to spend considerable time as single people. Please and thank you. Last was Summit and Kaylee. I will be so honest, I fell asleep. But what I can tell you is the man is trying to prove his commitment to her by giving her a key and a dog collar. That's it. Saying, let's move in together and let's get a dog is what's gonna fix our relationship problems. And this girl bought it hook, line, and sinker. You know what? All the best. I hope that you work it out. I don't have a lot of faith, but I hope that you work it out. If I would have had it my way, everybody would have left single. Everybody else who came before this couple, y'all made the right decisions. I do like that Sydney left with Xavier. These two needed to be alone too. I think Kaylee needs to learn what it's like to just be on her own. Don't even bother yourself with dating right now. Just explore the world. Explore the world, make some new friends, like see life outside of this man and get more self-assured because the girl is struggling. Her self-esteem is in the pits, and I don't mean that to be mean. I say that just as a fact. She knows it too. So yeah, I wish she didn't place her identity in this man, but well, I hope the dog is cute. Based on the internet, it's seeming that the reunion is going to be next week. So I'm gonna look out for that, and I'm gonna come and tell y'all what happens there. But until then, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.